guys, we just rolled up to 4-wheel parts to get the rear Eibach springs installed. And here's the Eibach part number for the HD springs. These are the new ones that just got released not a few weeks ago, not to be confused with the Pro Lift. And here's the load chart for the HD springs. You can see we added a couple lines. Hopefully you can follow our logic there. And we'll do a quick measurement of the travel here in the back with the factory, or not the factory, with the Eibach regular Pro Lift level lift spring. So we're at, see that, try and do it right in the middle, about right, almost about 6 inches. Back passenger, back driver. If I don't get hit by this truck, you're good. Measurement here. We're at right about 6 inches there too. Do a quick walk around what it looks like for the rear springs, for the rear HD Eibach springs. This is with the Pro Lift, 1.5 inch in the back. So we should get about an extra inch. Right now we're sitting at about 6 inches in the back of travel and just under 6 inches in the front. So it's basically level right now, but once you load up the back with gear and people and everything else, it's gonna squat quite a bit. So the rear Eibach hopefully will take care of that. Just going up in the air. There's the Eibach Pro Lift 1.5 inches. They're pulling out and they're gonna put in the HDs. Since you can't hear the audio in the actual video here, I'll just overlay that there is an issue with the install, and you'll have to fast forward towards the end of the video to find out what they did wrong. We were able to get the alignment dialed in. Green boxes equals good. Alright, so we just got the Eibach HD rears installed. We're going to do a quick measurement, see where we're at. Alright, so this was about 6 inches with the regular Eibach. Ooh, looks like we gained quite a bit. So we're at 7 and almost a little over half, maybe 5/8. See if you can see that. About 7 and 5/8. So gained about 1 inch and 5/8. So pretty good. Definitely give it that extra travel you need for the gear. Try and zoom out here so we can see a side profile. We're rocking about 6 in the front and 7 5/8 in the back. Sweet, see how it drives. Rick's Raw review of the Eibach HD springs for the RAMTRX. This is my first drive off pavement. We just got them installed yesterday. I've driven home from an hour drive, went to pick up my kid from school, but I have not been off pavement, so this is the first right now, March 28th, 5:57 p.m. So we're gonna see how it does. Overall impressions on the road, feels a little springier. Kind of, I guess, to be expected, right? A stiffer spring, a little springier. It puts you at a, if the rake is probably as much as factory, if not maybe a little more raked. So you're sitting, you know, the back is higher than the front, for those of you who don't know what I mean. And so much so that it honestly feels like I'm kind of driving like in an attack position, like I have a better line of sight over the hood, because I guess the back end being cocked up a little bit more, especially more than it was before. It was basically perfectly level. So other impressions I've noticed on the road, it feels good. It feels good on the road. So now we're just going to see how it feels on this kind of road that definitely needs some grading and some improvements. One other thing I did notice on the the day-to-day kind of street driving is there's definitely more body roll. Okay, here's a good spot. I can give it a little bit of gas here. See how this feels. Well, that felt good. Definitely more body roll on the street when you're yanking a quick UE or something like that. You're definitely going to feel a little more body roll, obviously coming from the rear. So now let's see how this thing feels off-road. We're going to still fire road here for about 4 or 5 more minutes. Mr. Bear. And what's up, man? And then we're going to hit Belmore Forest, and we're going to just give it a little rip. I don't really feel like completely caking the entire thing with mud again, because it literally just got, the undercarriage at least just got cleaned up like 36 hours ago. So as you know, most of you, it's not a super fun job to do that. It takes a little bit of time, usually getting sprayed and mud in the eyes and this and that. So I usually try and make it at least a week before I have to do it again, but so far so good. There hasn't really been many obstacles or ditches or anything like that yet, and I'm driving with on-road tire pressure, just the normal pressures here. Definitely took on a ton of water out here. Yes, we did, Mr. Bear. This is a 25 mile-an-hour zone, so I'm doing about 26 right now. Now you have this huge bed right here, man. It's like I would sleep in there, and you choose to sleep over here. You choose to lay over here. That's okay. Oh, okay. That feels pretty good. And I do have about 750 to 800 pounds of added weight over the rear axle. Okay, here's some bumps. Feels fine. Between the decked system, oh, here's a little jump. Between the deck Gen 2 system, fully loaded with about 250 pounds on top of the deck system and the mat, which is about 250 pounds, so it's about 500. And I've got a ton of extra stuff, if you haven't watched my deck video. Ton of extra stuff on the sides, the high lip jack, and the pumpkin skid. And then I also have a 37-inch Maxxis spare tire under there, so all the weight and the rear bumper, the bodyguard rear bumper too, all that is added on. All right, so we're 6:02 p.m. And it looks like there's maybe another vehicle coming, so we're not gonna rip it up too much yet. Driving around with no music is tough. There's a cop, forest ranger of some kind. Of course, they come out here and law enforcement will be out here. Alright, so hopefully he fell off a cliff. Not literally, but not going to be following us. Alright, so let's hit some puddles. See how the rear shocks and rear springs feel. And come out, chop that thing down. This truck makes a little bit of noise, so I don't want to give him any reason to come chase me down. Not that he'd catch me, but I don't feel like running today. Okay, so it feels it definitely feels stiffer. There's no doubt. It feels stiffer than before, but doesn't feel like it would get unsettled. Let's see, at high speeds, let's find out. Ouch, dude, you're literally biting into the baby teeth. Ah. hey. Ow, that hurts. Come on, have a bone. Have a toy. Come on. Stop there. Oh, here's some bumps. So far, it feels pretty good. Definitely feels like it rebounds a little quicker back there. Oh. Said I wasn't gonna go through the mud. Uh-oh, it's a big one. Ah, that felt good. That felt good. Nothing that doesn't feel out of the ordinary right now. It feels a little bit stiffer back there, but honestly feels like I have a little more confidence to go into some of these, knowing that I'm not, knowing that I'm not going to bottom out. Not that I would really bottom out the rear anyways, but with all that extra weight back there, I was always a little bit nervous about it. Still think I'd bottom out the front well before into the back. Oh. What's up, Tommy? Trying to train this pup to be good with this type of stuff early, so he doesn't get too nervous when he's 4, 5, 6. We're still doing so. Mr. Bear is about 4 months old. All right, so far so good. It honestly, the best way to describe it is like if you drive your it's got like a hint of tow mode. So if you put your TRX into the tow setting, like you can feel that, like almost like that little bit of chatter. Sometimes when you hit like a small bump, like a speed bump, yeah, everything feels pretty good. What do you think? He's resting, he's chilling, so you must think it feels pretty good too. Mr. Bear? Man, this is a huge mud puddle. Mr. Bear. Hello, Mr. Bear. Oh. Come on. Ah! Come on. I don't want you to fall over. Alright. So far so good. I don't really have any other negatives to report at this point, just from ripping it down one of our usual trails. Feels a little, I think I mentioned earlier, it feels a little springier, so it definitely feels like a little bit more springy, which I guess it is, right? Is that a word, springy? What do you think? Yeah? Springier, but it doesn't feel harsh. So I'm going to sign this one off now. It's meant to be a quick one. Hopefully you get something out of this, and we will be back soon with more cool videos, cool content. Mash that subscribe button for us, and we'll see you in the next one. Morning, guys. Quick PSA before I put this Eibach rear spring review together. The Eibach HDs and the Pro Lifts springs come with, let me see if I can zoom out a little bit. They come with this coil guard already pre-installed from Eibach. That's not the issue. The issue is Eibach tells you have to, and this is kind of up for debate because I know some people who have not had them installed and hasn't been an issue, but definitely want to try and follow their recommendations. Eibach recommends strongly to install the factory coil guard on the springs before you put them on the truck. Look at this transition. And so what I mean by that is this one here, I can easily take off and put back on once the spring's on. But the one on the bottom, see if I can get a better shot here without. See, the one on the bottom there, it's kind of, you can see it, it's not an outside one, it's an inside one. So it goes on the inside of the coil. The one above it goes on the outside. This one, obviously you can't get that on once the spring is on, unless you do what we did,
which is use about 4 or 5 tire irons and flathead screwdrivers to pull the spring up just enough to snake that thing under. 3 hours and a pint of knuckle blood from my neighbor Mike. And we were not able to get it all the way under. We were able to get it about 90%. Let's see if I can take you around to the front of it. Can you see? Maybe. Not really. Anyways, I have to come from up here and zoom. All right, so you'll see on the left side there, it's kind of popped out a little bit. Anyways, it's about 90% on there, but just kind of a PSA when you get the Eibach springs, whether it's front or rear, pro lift, level lift, HD, whatever, just make sure that you tell your guys, because I even told them, I even printed out instructions to put the coil guard on. Well, the tech said, hey, there's a coil guard already on here, so we don't need to transfer it. Well, you do, because this one's fine and it protects these coils, but there's nothing for the bottom. And if there's nothing on the bottom here, it's all metal, it's all powder coated spring onto steel, iron axle and all that stuff. So it's basically gonna rub and chafe and rust, and then you'll have an issue eventually. So definitely try and get that coil guard on with at the install place, or if you're doing it yourself, definitely put that on first, and make a note for your installer to disregard the coil guard that's up here. You still need the friggin' coil guard on the bottom. So there's your PSA. I just want to throw that together before I put the full review together. All right, guys, thanks.
Oh! Oh! Something's happening in 10 seconds, it says.